Hey guys! In today's lesson, I kind of want to walk through on how you could identify XOR in malware samples. So, the person you're watching this, right? You're probably new to malware analysis and reverse engineering, and you're looking at your first sample and you're completely stuck on what you can do. So, let me help you. So, here's my credentials, and let's talk about what is XOR encryption, right? XOR is an operation that you could use to transform the data. And the concept relies on the principle that the bits are flipped when XORed. If you really think of it, it's that it's one or the other, but not both. So, for example, over here it says one or the other. So, true or false is true, but it cannot be both. So, that means that if it's true or true, that results in false. So why is malware still using this in general? The main thing I kind of realize is that maybe they're just trying to annoy malware reverse engineers. But the other thing is that it's a very simple and effective in transforming data. If you think about it, it's very easy for XOR as a symmetric encryption mechanism. It only requires one thing, which is that XOR symbol and the loop itself. It can also be used to bypass secure signature detections in a lot of traditional slash and AV in traditional antivirus and EDRs, and it's also very popular within the community itself. So let me teach you how you could do it and how you could find it. So now we've opened a sample over here within Ghidra, and the sample over here is a GootKit. One thing that's known regarding GootKit is that they use XOR encryption in order to decrypt, well, XOR decryption to decrypt a lot of the context from plain text, from ciphertext to plain text. So as you're opening it, originally it would be within in create thread, but I've opened into this one specific function down here. As you're scrolling down, right, you're seeing a lot of these bytes and you have no idea what it is. It may be possibly shellcode, but you cannot really confirm in what it is. So how can we figure out and also edit the structure so we understand what this entire blob is? So let's continue. All right. So as you're looking at this code, right, you see all of this shell, this potential, data over here. And then you see a get process heap and you see an allocation of a memory. So as you over here, if you look it up, you could see potentially in, I assume this is how many bytes that's being assigned inside here. Okay. All right. So, okay. And then as you continue looking at this, right? And then they're setting a memory, destination memory. Okay, so the same thing. And then they're doing something over here. I have no idea what it is. And there's a do and while loop, which looks interesting. One thing that stood out to me is a modulo divide by 6. In a way, I assume that this is repeating the keys over and over again because there's not, enough data as a key, so it had to like reiterate itself. And then over here, we see a potential XOR, and we see a while loop for 40. Okay. So we see a 40, and we see a 41 on top. I wonder what this is. Okay, so this is also 41. All right. So one key thing that I realize is that there's only two things that really stand out, right? So this over here appears to be the key. And the reasoning I know this is because of ChatGPT. That is actually true. But the other thing that I realized is that the data that's being XORed is within over here itself. So within this loop itself, we know that it is looping while for like something 40. We understand that this might be a key over here, and we understand that there's some XOR loop execution over here. All right. So if we know that it is looping for every 6 bytes, since because of the module 6 down here, if we look down and we try to trace back local 24, we know that local 24 is over here. So what we want to do is that we want to fix this data structure, right? So I think it would be in uint underscore t. Oh shit. I think, is it this? Yeah. AT UA8. There you go. UAT, and we want to specify, as they say, around 6 bytes itself. Perfect. So we got all the data over here. So this would operate as a key, and it matches up exactly with what's located over here. Yep. So if we look at it and we look at that, yep, this makes sense. And this idea, we know that since you're looping this around like 40 something times, we could assume, well, if you really want to look at it, we could say that, well, it's XORing something. It's XORing by this, V2 is a key, by this, which we assume would be the data. And then if we go back over here, blah, 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 for C minus DST. So where will we see 4C? So we see it over here. So one thing we really need to do is that we really need to fix this as fix the data type itself. If you want to, if you're lazy enough, you could also like fix the data and then you copy paste and then ask it to XOR and get the data out for you, right? So we would assume that this might be around either 40 or 41. I'd say I give it 40. If it doesn't work, it'll be 41, right? A underscore T. And we go over here and it would go for 40, right? Let's try 40 if it doesn't work. Cool. So it is definitely extracting all the data in the right parts, right? So I think the 40 was definitely the right one. Now that if you're very lazy, right, and we understand that the entire function is just a really single XOR loop, right? It's not really extremely hard. What we could do is that we could copy this and we could paste this into GPT. And I've done this previously, but I haven't specified this fully enough, right? And we could do this, and we could say this as data, right? And then we know that this is the key. The key, the key, the key, the key, the key. All right. Okay, so we got every. This is so annoying. Oh my god, this is killing me. All right. So XOR decrypt for me. All right. So now we wait as my reverse engineers were kind of, well, for me, I'm kind of a lazy type of person, so I like to use AI to automate as much as possible. And the decrypted content, as you can see, is A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z, right? And then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So there you go. We are able to decrypt that content, and if you want, we'll make an even further step by making a comment on this. So we could go here, we could go select comment, and if you select pre, it will appear within the compiler. And like this. And there we go. we understand that now the decrypted content is this. And if you want to further do it, you're able to build Ghidra scripts that are able to do all this automation for you, locate the memory. And how this would work is that you would write regex for the how I would do it is that I would look for potential common patterns that you see. So a lot of the content over here utilizes like C745, 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 blah. All right. And through that, you might be able to try and regex it out, find a way to regex the pattern, and then get the data itself. And there you go. You now learned how to regex and identify the XOR decryption and also decrypt the content itself.